Good afternoon, Belize. I'm Isani Cayetano, and it's time for your midday check-in with News 5. We've got the top stories to keep you informed. Here's a quick rundown of what's happening around the country. An overnight fire in Dangriga tragically claimed the life of an elderly woman, Sonia Sambola. Authorities are now investigating the incident. Shine Barrow's UDP held a press conference to tackle pressing national issues, including the government's borrowing and spending habits. 29 small businesses benefit from Beltrade's BEEP initiative, including ostrich farmer Nancy Marin. These stories are coming up in just 1 minute.
In the face of tragedy, you depend on accurate and timely information. In times of triumph, you seek to be inspired. You demand transparency and accountability. Your desire is to know and to understand, to be heard and seen. I take pride in telling stories that safeguard communities. Your dedication and success live on through these reports. Getting to the truth is my duty. My unwavering commitment is to tell the stories that matter the most to you. I am News 5.
Tragedy struck in Dangriga overnight as a deadly house fire claimed the life of an elderly woman. Police were called to a property in the Bengushe area around 11 p.m., where a small wooden structure was fully engulfed in flames. Once the fire department managed to put out the blaze, they discovered the charred remains of Sonia Sambola. This is a developing story, and we'll have more details in our 6 p.m. newscast. This morning, the United Democratic Party held a press conference at its headquarters on Youth for the Future Drive. Opposition leader Shine Barrow was flanked by Chairman Michael Perfeet, Deputy Chairman Alberto August, and Standard Bearer Nelma Mortis. The event, broadcast live on all major local TV stations, also featured the lead opposition senator, who tackled several pressing issues, including the economy and the government's borrowing, which he claims has reached nearly $3 billion.
Since November 2020, this government has borrowed, when you add up treasury bills, loan motions, and all of those, this government has borrowed nearly $3 billion. And in the words of their former Prime Minister, that's billion with a B. They have borrowed $3 billion with nothing to show for it, with the chairman of their party, Minister of the Public Service, saying, we know we promised you something in a document called Plan Belize, but we did not say we would deliver that in this term. We need about 10 terms to deliver that, admitting that they have done nothing that they promised. When the Minister of New Growth Industries was asked, I think it was by you, Courtney, what new industries have developed since November 2020? The man said he couldn't give one. He said we have to look at that and hope for that in the event we form the next administration. So what have you gotten for your $3 billion that they have borrowed? Nothing.
In his remarks, Perfeet tackled some of the key challenges currently facing the Belize Police Department.
This is not just a question of morale, unfortunately. This is a question of safety. When those who protect us lose their sense of purpose, it is the entire community that suffers. The next UDP government will ensure that the police department has a leader who listens to our officers, who fights for their well-being, and who ensures that they are given the tools, the training, and the respect they need to do their jobs effectively. The leadership at the top must reflect the values that we wish to see at every level of our police department. We must also address a disturbing trend among certain high-ranking officers. Too many of them have begun to blur the lines between public service and private gain. We have seen cases where senior officers have become deeply involved in personal business ventures, raising serious questions about where their funding comes from and whether they are using their positions of authority to further their private interests.
29 micro, small and medium enterprises got a financial boost from Beltrade's Belize Enterprise Empowerment Project, BEEP. Most of the recipients in this first group are women, including Nancy Marin, who received support for her ostrich farm in the Cayo district.
We had to send in a full business proposal, attend, I think it was 3 or 4 different training sessions, and then do a pitch in front of a panel from Beltrade, I think Ministry of Finance, DFC.
Okay, maybe you could share with us what the money will be used for, the business.
The money will be used for an incubation center for us to be able to produce more ostriches. For us to be able to produce more ostriches, that way we can get more oil from the ostriches and produce more cosmetics. We have interest to export in Ireland and in Seattle. So there's a big push now that it's a laying season for ostriches. There's a big push to be able to produce more oils.
Okay, and what did you have to go through in terms of training and commitment to be able to benefit from this?
We did some training with finance, like managing our finances, training on how we would use the finance that we get from Beltrade, and also in the export, what we need to be able to export to get to that level of international export.
That's a wrap for the news at noon. But don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit channel5belize.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes tomorrow morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon.